Ethiopia for in the beginning we used to really show much more like of the Ethiopian Amapiano. To be honest, I love Ethiopian music. I also love how many talented musicians there are really doing their best and working their craft. I think the most challenging thing is hoping that it goes well, fearing that it might not go well, fearing that whatever that you have been building is not going to be perceived well by the public. The name Ben stood out to them both, but we have a lot of Binyams in our family. My name is Benaiah Isaac Havakor.
Where were you born?
I was born in Addis, Ethiopia.
Are you Ethiopian or foreigner?
My mom's Ethiopian and my dad is Dutch. And that makes me half Ethiopian and half Dutch.
What's your nationality?
My citizenship is Dutch, or my nationality is Dutch.
What does Benaiah mean?
Benaiah is a biblical name, and it means built up by God. My parents chose it because the name Ben stood out to them both, but we have a lot of Binyams in our family. So they found the name Benaiah, which is the son of Yodahe, a priest in the Bible, the priest to David, King David. And Benaiah was one of the great men that was at David's service. So that's what Benaiah means.
How did you learn Amharic?
My Amharic is not the best, but I learned it growing up here and speaking in the house, speaking at school, speaking with friends, more informally than formally, but yeah, that's how I can speak Amharic.
At what age did you start DJing?
I always loved music, but I think the interest in DJing or just mixing music in general came when I was 15, and that is because I was introduced to electronic music at the age of 15, and the best way that I saw electronic music being showcased and being showed in general was by DJs on YouTube.
Where do you live most of the year?
I lived in Ethiopia for 18 years until I was 18, and then I moved to the Netherlands, and that was in 2012. Now we're in 2025, so I've lived in the Netherlands about 13 years, and 2 of those years I lived in Addis during COVID. So I still would say I have lived longer in Addis than I have anywhere else.
ከ92 ብር ብቻ የሚጀምሩ ጉዞችን በማቅረብ በመናስፈልገው ጊዜ ከጎን ሆነን ወደ መዳረሻው ሁሌም በሰዓቱ በመድረስና ገንዘቦን በመቆጠብ ይደሰቱ። ያንጎ መተግበሪያውን አሁን ያወርዱ። ያንጎ
Why did you choose Amapiano?
It's funny because Amapiano is just the most recent part of my journey. I would say that Amapiano spoke to me very specifically. It was in a time when I was also trying to find a sound with DJing. I was a hip-hop DJ, I was a trap DJ, electronic music DJ, just general electronic music DJ before. And then with the rise of Afro-beats, African culture and music was being showcased to the world much more, and that was making all the African diaspora where I was at very happy and enthusiastic that finally like our music is being shown. And right around that time also I was getting introduced to Amapiano by doing a lot of searching and digging, and it really spoke to me because first of all my passion for electronic music, but this was now music from the continent made by young kids who didn't have maybe the access to all the music making software that was necessary back in the day to make electronic music and to share it. And the music just hypnotized me. So the melodies hypnotized me, just the pace and the tempo of the music hypnotized me. Later when I started searching the song lyrics and meaning, it really spoke to me that now we are telling the stories of our brothers and sisters through electronic music, and we are dancing, and the most amazing thing was that the whole world was finally feeling our stories and hearing our music.
Describe your music style in one word.
In one word, my music style? I think in one word, my music style can be described as... this is a very tough one. Wait, let me think about this. I'll answer it properly, but let me just think. You want it as an adjective? Like fun or energetic? Okay. If I had to describe my music in one word, I would just say hypnotizing.
How did Amapiano Worldwide start?
Amapiano Worldwide is actually a result of our event in Addis, which was called Amapiano Sundays, growing and growing and growing, and it was expanding. And we expanded beyond just Sundays. We used to do the event every Sunday, as the name says, in different places in Addis Ababa. But then because we were expanding so rapidly, we moved from Sundays to Saturdays. So we had to think of a different name to give it. And also the interest to do our events outside of Addis Ababa was happening. So because of that interest, we decided, let's just make it Amapiano Worldwide, because what do we stand for? We stand for that this sound, that this music expands nationwide, worldwide, internationally, intercontinentally, so that the music can be heard everywhere. So that's why the name Amapiano Worldwide, in just 2 words, says it all.
What's your most unforgettable DJ moment?
A unique moment that I remember always, definitely my first festival. As a young DJ, when you're practicing at home and learning how to do everything, I think the thing that you really look forward to is, when will I play my first club? When will I play my first party? When will I play my first barbecue? And the thing that I was really, really looking forward to was, when will I play my first festival? So I won't forget the first time I played my first festival. Is the moment that I really felt like I hit a milestone.
What's your favorite social media app?
Social media that I use the most often, I think, would be Instagram for business and for work. I'm not on TikTok that much. And other social media that I use is music related, so SoundCloud. And if YouTube counts as social media, then YouTube as well, because I'll be in the comments sometimes sharing music with other people. So, yeah.
First thing you do when you wake up?
First thing I do when I wake up in the morning is, I think it is grab my phone to see that I don't have any missed calls or messages, and just to see what time it is. Luckily, I have a reminder that says to open the Bible app. So while I have my phone, I will also click on that notification because I want that streak. But more importantly, I just want to be fulfilled spiritually in the morning. So more often than not, I'm also opening the Bible app and reading the verse of the day.
Which international DJ do you admire the most?
When I was younger, I really did have a lot of role model DJs that I wanted to meet. One of them being Avicii, but unfortunately, of course, he passed. And the other role models that I had as a kid, I don't see them as role models anymore. I just see them as fellow passionate music lovers that are doing their thing. So if life were to present me the opportunity to meet them, I'd be very, very happy. But there's no one specific individual that I really, 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 really want to meet or that I idolize.
What's your favorite Ethiopian dish?
My favorite Ethiopian meal is definitely ጥብስ ፍርፍር. And the reason is because, I just get taken back to eating that first thing in the morning on a Saturday, and it just has a good nostalgia feeling for me. So every time I eat some good ጥብስ ፍርፍር with a boiled egg, it's the best.
What do you do in your spare time?
With the free time that I have as a hobby, I just want to make music and create. And making music allows me to also connect with people in a different way. So, I like to make music in my free time.
Of the 7 countries you've toured, which was the best?
Very good question. I think my favorite country that I've been to now, I loved Indonesia when I traveled to Indonesia. The people there were amazing. The culture was amazing. The food was amazing. The amount of DJs there who are so talented and so humble and so inspiring there are also so amazing. So I think Indonesia has the number 1 spot.
What's your go-to DJ gear?
For DJing, I would go for the club standard, which is 3 to 4 CDJs and a DJM mixer. The CDJs, I'm not very, very picky on 2000s, 3000s, doesn't matter. When it comes to making music, I'm a mouse and keyboard guy. So if I have a screen that I can extend my FL Studio on and I can just use my mouse and keyboard, I can get pretty far. So, yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 31 years old.
How do you react to "You don't look Ethiopian"?
I feel like I've always tried to fight for recognition among the Ethiopians for being Ethiopian, and also fought for recognition among the Dutch for being Dutch. Ironically, to the Abashas that never see me as Ethiopian until I speak Amarinya, or the Dutch that never see me as Dutch until I speak to them in Dutch. And what was the question actually? What do I feel? To be honest, I understand. When I look at myself in the mirror, I also see what they see, and I don't see a typical Habesha looking guy, and I don't see a typical Dutch looking guy. So I understand.
Clubs in Ethiopia versus abroad. What's the biggest difference?
Yeah, in terms of nightlife, I think what I have noticed in Europe and what I've noticed in the US as well, but also in Asia, there are a lot more dance clubs. So there's a lot more clubs that people go to dance. Whereas in Ethiopia, if you really want to go to an event, or you want to go somewhere to dance and go there for the music, you would go to an event organized by an event organizer or a group that they rent a venue and they hire the DJs there to play. That is a bit more similar. When it comes to really the clubs, I feel like there's a lot more focus on like the bottle culture here, tables and seating. People might not necessarily be coming for the music first, even though we have very, very talented DJs and musicians. I feel like we would go to those kind of places less in Europe, where there's a lot of table services and where there's a lot of like that bottle service kind of thing. But that's the main difference, I would say.
How hard is it to manage events in 7 countries?
I think the most challenging thing is hoping that it goes well, fearing that it might not go well, fearing that whatever that you have been building is not going to be perceived well by the public. But that fear exists up until the moment it happens. After that, whether you connect with 5 people, whether you connect with 10 people, whether you connect with 100, 500 people, the fear kind of goes away. And I think that one thing that I've had a challenge with is leading up to that moment, believing in our brand, believing in ourselves, believing in making sure that we're on the right path. There's always an element of doubt that creeps in, and the relationship with doubt has been the most challenging factor. I'm happy to say that with experience, of course, and with more and more time, the relationship with doubt and the relationship with fear or anxiety, social anxiety, always being in new places, meeting a whole lot of new people, the fear becomes less and the enjoyment becomes more.
What's the biggest misconception people have about you?
I don't know if people think I'm an angry guy or a mean guy. I don't think so. Misconception, that I'm maybe very flashy, or that I have a very ultra extrovert kind of, exterior or something like that, unapproachable. I think maybe being unapproachable because I'm somebody, else than I am. I feel like I'm a very approachable person. I love to engage with people. So I think when people tell me like, oh, I thought that you were not approachable, or that you were some kind of guy that had his, excuse my language, head up his ass or something like that, I'm very happy to prove them wrong.
What must Ethiopian music need to achieve to reach the global stage?
To be honest, I love Ethiopian music. I also love how many talented musicians there are really doing their best and working on their craft. I think the one thing that's maybe a couple of things that are missing about just the Ethiopian music industry is infrastructure. More and more networks, more and more platforms that can really showcase the diversity in talent. We have so many diverse cultures, so many diverse types of music, and beyond that, there is an opportunity for electronic music to mix with that, and other genres of African music also to blend with that. So I think the one thing that's maybe missing is collaboration and just, I would say, general infrastructure, but these are things that can be overcome. So I'm actually very, very optimistic about Ethiopian music and the music industry here.
Your biggest career challenge so far?
The biggest challenge that I faced in my career is always thinking, should I go full-time or not? There's always that question like, do I pursue my academics only, or do I pursue music? Okay, you know what? I'll pursue them both at the same time. Do I pursue a full-time job and just leave the music? I've had a lot of different people in my ear and in my head telling me, do this, do that, do this. And it always feels like it's a 50-50 split. And I think the most challenging part has always been just to ask myself, do I want to do this 100% full-time or not? With that, of course, there's other challenges. I've seen a lot of people come and go. People who are in this business temporarily, people who just also change. So you also have to be ready that people will come and go in and out of your life. And that can also be equally challenging.
How do you show your Ethiopianness on global stage?
What are the things that I do to show that I'm Ethiopian? Besides speaking Amarinya when I can. Or having the little Ethiopia flag in my flyer.
You're not talking about Hari.
No, I know. No. That's a very good question. I would love to. I think in the beginning we used to really show much more like of the Ethiopian Amapiano whenever we had the chance to. But just the direction that the brand has gone and the way Amapiano has gone has definitely become more electronic. And I feel like still that opportunity for Ethiopian influences to enter real authentic Amapiano, it's still wide open. I feel I could do a much better job, to be honest, to really showcase, but I feel like if I'm going to showcase it, I might as well showcase the music that I've made with my friends and with the talented musicians that we have around us. All those songs are in a vault or in a folder and haven't been fully developed yet, but that time will come.
How has fame changed your personal life?
I don't think I am famous at all, but I don't like the idea of fame or celebrity culture or anything to do with like influencer culture, whatever. I don't like that. I do appreciate getting maybe some kind of recognition for whatever work. I believe everybody is due some level of appreciation and recognition, but the idea of fame or whatever, I feel like it just takes away from the music.
A funny or scary moments from Afro Cruise?
Okay, so Afro Cruise and later became Afro Summer Club, but Afro Cruise was very challenging simply because we were going to do a lot of events in a very short amount of time. So that meant we were up very early in the morning, making sure we had all the material ready to get it on a boat, organize an event on a boat, then have to, of course, after the events, after doing all the DJing and making sure that we're connecting with everyone. After everybody leaves the boat and the party's over, we have to close up, we have to clean up and do that over and over for about 6-7 days in a row. So I think the most challenging part was just making sure that we ate enough, making sure that we slept enough, making sure that we didn't stretch ourselves too much in terms of having a good time so that we managed our energy. That was definitely the most challenging. Yeah. The funny moment, there's a lot of funny moments. I think when you're catering to a good time for a lot of different people from a lot of different places, we've had people jump off the boat. We've had people fall in love at first sight on the boat. We've seen a lot of, very, very, very interesting, funny things. We've seen people get into relationships and have whole ass relationships from meeting on our Afro cruise. And then we'd see that the next year. Yeah, that's definitely, it's fun and it's amazing. Yeah.
Have you lost a close friend because of your career?
Have I lost any close friends because of my career? I don't think so. I think everybody's life develops and progresses in different ways. I definitely do feel like some relationships you get closer to one another, and some relationships you just grow in different directions. The love is never lost. When you meet on later in life, that's what I've also learned. When you meet on later in life, the love is not lost. You in fact have appreciation for each other, even appreciation for the time that you've spent away from each other. So I don't have any relationships that I feel like I've lost or anything because of this. Yeah.
Ever played music you hated just for the money?
No, I haven't. No. I've taken on requests at weddings or like these events where I had to play for multiple hours. I'm actually, to be honest, very open to hearing requests. If a request from an audience member lands with me or lands in the setting and I think to myself, hey, this is appropriate, then I'm happy to hear it, to be honest, because in the end, DJing is also a service. And depending on whether you're booked as an artist DJ or whether you're booked as a service to the people, you have to cater to their needs. So there have been times where I've taken on a request. There has been time when a request has been handed me with a tip as well. And I was happy to play it, so yeah.
Which stage gave you the most confidence?
The stages that I'm very, very happy to have played are, as I said, the first club gig that I got, because it was in Tivoli Vredenburg, which was a very brand new club in the city I was going to college in. That was amazing at the time. There was a hip hop club that I used to go to all the time when I was also in college, and it was known as probably the hip hop club of Amsterdam, Bitterzoet. Once I was able to play there, not only was I able to play there, I was able to do my own events there. That felt like a full circle moment as well. A couple festivals, definitely Amsterdam Open Air. That was definitely a big highlight, and I think the biggest milestone was Mysteryland. And the reason why Mysteryland as a stage or as a concept was such a big deal for me is because the first ever festival that I went to when I was 17 or 18 years old was Mysteryland. And I remember seeing all the DJs that I wanted to see there as a kid. And exactly 10 years later, I was able to play there myself.
What's your grand plan to connect Africa through music?
I think for that, I would want to be located in the continent more. I would love to travel in between the countries that I have a network in more. So that would definitely be Ethiopia, Kenya, South Africa, also in West Africa. I would want to be rooted a little bit more before I focus on the collaborations. But for the collaboration that I already have in mind, they are predominantly in Ethiopia.
What's your response to DJing isn't a real job?
It depends. I think there's different types of DJs. I feel like even during and after COVID showed us that you can be a bedroom DJ on Twitch full time if that's what you want to do. There is a market for it. There is money for it. Besides only being in a club on weekends, or besides daytime events or corporate events or weddings and wedding season, there are so many different places where you can be a DJ, be of service as a DJ, and also develop yourself as an artist DJ. That anybody who says that, oh, you can't do this full time, I tell them, yeah, you're looking at it wrong. You've misunderstood it. And then the question is, do you want to take on the advice of somebody that doesn't understand it? But I'll leave that to you.
Which Ethiopian vocalist do you want to work with?
Definitely. I'm always open to going into the studio and seeing how the creative spirit, a spirit that is outside of us, can flow through us and can bring something out of us together.
Who's more attractive, Ethiopian or foreign women?
I do think that Ethiopian women are very, very, very beautiful, very diverse and very beautiful. But for me, nationality, color, that kind of stuff doesn't matter. I feel like women of all colors, all races, all backgrounds are beautiful. So there's beauty in every single culture.
When was the darkest period of your life?
If I have to reflect to one of the last dark period that I was in, it was just a couple months ago, about 4 months ago, last September. Something very traumatic happened to a very, very close friend of mine. Also happened while I was there. It showed me the importance of having a very, very strong foundation in faith, because I've seen how trauma can really, really shake and affect the mind, affect people's hope, affect my hope, affect my friend's hope. It really made me also think about what is important in life. When death comes really knocking on your door, are you going to be ready? If God comes knocking on your door and he says it's time, will you be ready for that? And that question itself was very, very tough. I still ask myself that question. Am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? Have I been a good person? Can I face the Lord, and will he tell me that I'm a good servant after everything? I'm not going to get into the details of the trauma, but definitely the traumatic event forced me to ask myself those questions, and it's never a fun time.
Have you ever had an identity crisis?
Definitely. I think when I had just moved to the Netherlands for college, I was really, I was a young kid. I was 18. I thought I had known the world. I was very optimistic, and I felt like, I don't know, socially, I was ready for it. I was ready to just be everyone's friend and be popular and do all that. And I think when I went to college, I was really faced with the idea of like, who are you? You know, like, what do you want to be known for? Do you want to be known for being a DJ? Do you want to be known for whatever your skills with girls, if I had any, whatever? Do you want to be known for academics? Do you want to be known for all these things? And then when you peel the layers behind, because also those things are empty, right? If you try to build an identity around something that doesn't really speak to who you are, it breaks. It's a facade. So removing all those masks as an 18-year-old kid, I realized the only identity I have is being a child of God and being the son of my mom and dad.
Tell us your biggest regret in life.
Yeah, very deep question. Very deep question. I think there's not one specific decision I regret. There's not one thing that keeps me up at night. There might be several things, several patterns of my own behavior that I can recognize repeat itself that I continuously regret. And that would be that I overextend myself, maybe helping people that are not asking for help, and then somehow expecting that it means something. Overextending myself in relationships and situations that I felt I was disrespected in, or not been given the right amount of that proper, just decent human respect, but somehow still sacrificing myself to please other people. I think one thing I learned in life is the only person that you have to really worry about pleasing is yourself, and the only entity that you should be worried about pleasing is God.
What's the biggest sacrifice you've made for your career?
I mean, with any passion, one thing that you have to sacrifice is time, and that sometimes means times with your friends, times with your partner, your love partner, or your other jobs. I feel like other hobbies I had to really cut. I used to love playing all kinds of sports, but I really had to cut on that, even though I am trying to get back into sports. The big sacrifices I made was definitely time spending with other people and just making sure that I practice by myself or with other DJs, and just practice our passion. I never made a blood sacrifice or anything like that.
How did your family first react to you being a DJ?
I think they always knew I had a passion for music from a very young age, but they were always a bit concerned of why, because music is also something that we use music to, of course, worship in church. So there's a very close relationship between music being used for worship and music for enjoyment. I wouldn't say it's a strong relationship, but there is a relationship, a kind of a concern there. So with certain family members, they were very ecstatic and happy, like, oh cool, you're doing something fun, and this DJ thing is becoming bigger for you, fun, whatever. But other family members, they definitely have shared their concern with, hey, don't let this thing distract you from what the true purposes of music, or, as I said before, these are definitely inputs that come in and that definitely have an effect. But my family, I think more or less, as long as I'm safe, as long as I am not doing anything to put others to shame or to lead them astray from God, that they're happy.
Do you feel lonely behind the fame and travel?
Yes, there are times where DJing can be lonely. I wouldn't say maybe the celebrity stuff, but DJing can be lonely for multiple reasons. I think especially when you get booked for international shows. When I was getting booked for international shows, I was traveling by myself. Those flights, those hotel rooms, especially if you're getting booked for, let's say, New Year's Eve somewhere, you're going to an event, you play. When you wake up in the morning, there are no friends around you. You have played for a bunch of strangers. You've given them the best time ever. You see the next day on social media that all your friends are celebrating New Year's together, or they're celebrating a birthday together, or they're celebrating something together, but you're alone maybe in a hotel room or in a friend's apartment or something like that. There are times, of course, also when you're in a relationship and you long for the other person, but you can't be with them because you're traveling. So it does get lonely. There are also times where I just miss my family, miss being with my family, miss being with my niece and nephew, just miss being with their true, authentic love. And in nightlife and in music and in entertainment, you are surrounded by a lot of superficial and temporary love. I don't want to call it fake, but I would call it temporary and maybe just on the surface, that runs out very, very, very quick. I tend to long for the deep love from my family and from my friends, and you don't have that all the time. So,
have you ever performed while drunk?
Yeah, there's been plenty of times that has happened. I've never functioned poorly. I've never gone to a position where I was in a very bad state and played very, very bad. If at any point that it happened that I became like a little bit too, that I drank a bit too much, I was already on my way home. I was already making sure that I was going to bed. I never ever made a fool of myself like DJing or anything like that. I would grab the mic more if I drank more, so I would definitely become more comfortable on the mic, but never did anything terrible. So
what's your biggest fear for the future?
I think the biggest fear I have for in the future is, I think, to be honest, losing maybe one of my parents or losing my parents. The time is going to come. I also fear sometimes for if I'll be ready for that, or if I'll ever be able to be the same kind of father that my dad was to me. Other fears, they don't really matter. I think the thing that I really, really don't look forward to is that is going to happen one day, and that I will have to step up when that time comes.
If music ended tomorrow, what would you do?
I think I would go into trying to serve in some way, some capacity. I would try to serve people, because at least that will give me some kind of satisfaction that I'm helping people. Music is such an amazing instrument, an amazing tool to help people. So if there was no music, I would just try to maybe pick up video editing. I don't know, maybe creating video. I definitely would want to stay creating and stay serving people.
Have you lost a partner because of your career?
I don't think I have lost anyone because of music or because of DJing. In fact, I've gained a lot of friends from it. Anybody that I have lost from music or DJing, I have lost them without knowing that I lost them, to be honest. So no, the short answer is no.
Would you choose world's #1 DJ or a stable family life?
Option number 2. I'll take B any day.
Why that choice?
Because I can be a DJ for my kids. I could be a DJ for my family. I could be a DJ for my friends. I don't have this goal of being this #1. I could care less about what a world standard or #1 award or accolade is for music. Music is so subjective to people who receive it. So you will be #1 for someone, and you'll be the last, or you'll be number 199, whatever, for somebody else. So it's better just to focus on the people that you can serve, that appreciate you, making sure that they are good at 100%. So that would be my family in this choice. Than to worry about being recognized by everybody as the top dog.
If the applause stopped tomorrow, where would it be?
I think if I were to lose all my fans, followers by tomorrow, I wouldn't take it too personally. I would just start again. I would just start by making music again. If that's really my goal, if that's what I want to continue doing, I'll just start over. Because I've also seen that if you commit yourself to anything, good things will happen. So, yeah. Whew, that was very, very fun, very interesting, very introspective, I must say. Tougher than I thought, to be honest. I answered 48 out of 49 questions, but this was definitely fun. Almost like therapy. So thank you, Fendisha TV. I can't wait to do this again. Don't forget to subscribe to Fendisha TV. Drop your comments right below and then let us know what was your favorite question, what was your favorite answer. And yeah, see you in the comments. All right.